Welcome to the Wild Magic Podcast, Season 1, The Rise of the Shine Brigade. This episode contains explicit language not suited for sprouts, tots, or toadstools. Trigger warnings and music credits can be found in the description. In a galaxy of heat and warmth, of love and hatred, of hope and despair, lie the sister planets Cerulean and Daffodil. These planets orbit one another as if engaged in an eternal dance. Daffodil, the larger of the two, is a planet of vibrant life, a place where flowers grow as large as skyscrapers and soft grass covers temperate plains. The smaller Cerulean, aptly named for its dull blue hue, is a place where soft moss grows rampant between cracks in the sidewalk, where mushrooms sprout from sewage grates and bioluminescent pools of green. It is a place of calm, of reflection, of the peace that comes from the quiet drone of insects. At the center of Cerulean and Daffodil lie the fundamental forces of light that exist at their core: shine and gloom, which sprout chrysalis vines throughout the earth that jut out of the surface as 10 massive conductive crystals. Civilization sprouted around these crystals, growing as mortals' understanding of the fundamental forces yielded technology in the form of light. Each color of the rainbow produced a different effect. Red wields heat, fire, and flame. Orange controls mechanics, the movement of objects, of pushing and pulling. Yellow heals and grows, green slows and speeds the passage of time, blue decays and breaks down, violet chills and cools. Wielding the power of shine and the colors of the rainbow, civilization invented new ways of growing food, healing the sick, and living comfortably. Technology came to a head with the invention of the rainbow bridges, a means of harnessing all colors of the spectrum in tandem to unlock the ability of traversing time and space. The two planets who could never touch now held one another through a bridge of light connecting civilizations. Maybe it was a reward for uniting the two planets, or a byproduct of fully using the shine and gloom. But a select group of people on both planets developed a special affinity to the forces of light. Youth with good hearts and good intentions selected for their unwavering moral compass. These special few did not need technology to wield the powers of light. The light shone through them as an inherent part of themselves, granting them superhuman powers and magical abilities. These few individuals became known as the Shine Brigade and the Gloom Brigade. All was well, for a time. Technology continued to advance and life got better. Where there was conflict or disaster, the brigades kept the peace and saved lives. But the world grew too fast, and civil war erupted on Cerulean. A general known by the moniker Grand Master Frown, charismatic in his character and commanding in his presence, grew quickly in prominence and power. To Ceruleanites, he was beloved by some for his contempt of Daffodil and feared by more for his disdain of life. Lacking the majority of support for his position and faced with a losing war, Grandmaster Frown made a decision that would permanently impact the lives of all of Cerulean. In a bid for power, Grandmaster Frown attempted to harness the power of gloom for himself, and in the process, the gloom became a vile, corrupted version of what once was. Grandmaster Frown, too, became a shell of hatred and of violence. In the week of darkness, many things happened too quickly. The rainbow bridges connecting the two worlds collapsed, severing the connection between Cerulean and Daffodil and trapping Ceruleanites on a dying planet. Frown, now fully wielding the corrupted gloom, slaughtered the Gloom Brigade. making the first decisive blow in a series of many that would turn the tides of war. Without the rainbow bridges, Cerulean went dark. 20 years later, desperate to end the conflict once and for all, the Shine Brigade used mysterious technology to travel to Cerulean and confront Grandmaster Frown. Their hearts heavy with the weight of the worlds on their shoulders, they faltered at the crux of the fight. And Grandmaster Frown slayed them one by one. With hope waning, and both brigades dead, the Shine will choose new representatives to fight for the light and to save the gloom. However, the usual bubbly and youthful choices won't do. To defeat overwhelming despair, the Shine will choose only those who have walked the path of darkness and come out of the other side.
The story begins in a humble mechanic shop in Sunflower City. Michael Brown, an older man, hardworking, works on a car as he does every day. The work is hard at times, the hours long, but he persists nonetheless. Michael Brown, you're approached by a customer, someone that's been coming into your shop for a very long time, a regular who has had their fair share of car troubles. He approaches the front desk to your humble mechanic shop. Hey, how's the car looking?
Oh, told you I'd call you when it was done.
Yeah, totally. I guess I just wanted to stop by and check in, but, I'm realizing now that you've always done a good job and called me exactly when it's done. I guess I just, how it is when you don't have a car. It's kind of a nervous thing. So, I'm going to be around here a little while waiting for my car. I guess I've known you for so long. I've never asked anything about you. How'd you get into being a mechanic?
My dad.
Right. Did your dad used to work here?
Yes.
So I think I'm going to head out for a little while, maybe grab a smoothie. I just wanted to say I really appreciate the hard work.
Car will be done when it's done.
Okay, sounds good. I'll catch you around. He exits the shop. The ringing of a bell signals his exit. We cut to Michael at his house. It is a small apartment. Furniture from your previous life litters throughout the room, placed in unnatural ways, sort of the most efficient for storage. Michael Brown works at a small workshop that he's set up inside of his living room. You have a set of tools, a very large array of mechanical parts, all for the purpose of creating things in your free time. What is Michael Brown working on?
Michael Brown has an interest in making little knickknacks and things of that sort. So currently Michael is working on a small little dancing ballerina that plays music as it goes. He's currently making the finishing touches to that, adding just splotches of paint and the last nail to get it perfect.
You watch the TV in the background. Something to do while working on your hobbies, just some sound to pierce through the silence. Tia Tumbleweed is giving the daily news. She is standing in front of the Shine compound, an illustrious building that you can see from everywhere in the city. She has sort of a sad look on her face. The report goes, "Hi, I'm Tia Tumbleweed with Action 5 News, bringing in breaking news from the planet Cerulean. As you all might know, the Shine Brigade, the bastions of hope, the heroes of Sunflower City, traveled to Cerulean for a final confrontation with Grandmaster Frown. I'm getting reports the Shine Brigade has fallen. Despite all the hopes and all the dreams of all of us here on Sunflower City, they fell at the hands of Grandmaster Frown. The Shine Brigade is dead. What that means for the future of the city, the future of our people, this reporter does not know. This has been Tia Tumbleweed reporting in from Action 5 News." The news descends into other small stories about things that happen around Sunflower City. Michael Brown, you finish this small toy, this ballerina.
All right, let's see if it works.
You turn it on, and melodic orchestral music plays. The ballerina spins atop stage. Slowly, beautifully, you look over to your side. There's 2 picture frames. One depicting you with Michael Jr., your son, and the twins. The other placed face down. You look to your left hand. There's a mark where a wedding ring used to be. But looking back to the toy, you're filled with a sense of pride, a sense of creation, a sense of hard work that Michael Brown is so known for. You feel energy course through your veins. You feel powerful in a way that you never did before. Your worries seem to fade away, and you feel, in this moment, pure joy. What happens to Michael Brown in this moment?
As Michael's gaze goes back from the turned over picture and the white circle around his ring finger, where the ring used to be, Michael is filled with that powerful emotion and unsure of how to deal with this overflow of emotion. Michael grabs onto the toy, hoping that it will ground him a bit. And we see the dancing ballerina come off the track, but continue to dance. And an orange glow is coming from this box. Michael sees this and immediately throws it off to the side, screaming, "What the gloom was that?" Michael stares at it from a distance, wondering what his next move should be as this orange light grows brighter and brighter.
You feel your clothes start to change. Your greasy jeans and your old work shirt begin to transform on your body. The dress of a ballerina puffs out from your thighs.
Alright, now what in the...
Lace flies around you at a rapid pace. You see yourself spinning around in circles as parts of your uniform transform into that of a beautiful ballerina. White laced gloves, a tiara, but infused with things that are distinctly Michael Brown. A tool belt forms around your skirt, sporting all of the necessary armaments of a man of your stature. Your mighty screwdriver, your sturdy wrench, your trustworthy rag. Michael Brown stands in the center of this dark apartment, glowing in orange light, dressed ridiculously as a ballerina.
Who do I even go to about this?
Reckland Brookridge sits in the passenger seat of a white van. Plastered on the side, it says, Sunflower City, Heating and Cooling. You're sitting next to an old friend named Bryn. He drives calmly and coolly, looking over at you every once in a while with sort of a careful and thoughtful glance. You drive to the site of your HVAC certification center. You have a big test today to improve your standing, and you're quite nervous for it.
I know. I know we've been practicing the tables. I feels like every time I get in there, I look, it's like everything you told me. I start panicking. I don't want it to be like last time. It feels like every single time I go in there and just everything I learn suddenly turns blank. And Bryn, I don't know if I'm going to do it this time. I really don't.
Reglin, even if you don't do it this time, it's okay. It really is. I've seen the work that you do and the knowledge that you have, and I know that you have the capability inside of you.
Yeah, well, it doesn't seem to matter much when I go in there suddenly. I don't know if I've ever seen a cortex in my dang life. I go in there and I'm not sure what a freaking mirror is.
Rec, I don't care if it takes 5 or 100 times. I know that you will get it.
I know. Thank you. I'm not... I know. We talked about this negative self-talk. It ain't good. And I just thought I'd be farther by now, but that is not healthy, and we have talked about that, and I'm just nervous as all heck. I'm sorry.
Actually, it's natural to be nervous.
I know.
You know, I'm so proud of you that you've reached this point where you can recognize those negative emotions flowing through you and try to do something better about it.
Yeah. I also made a terrible mistake, man. I had a cappuccino before this. I shouldn't have done that. I thought maybe it boosted me up, and now I just feel like my mind's going a mile a minute. I've not had a cappuccino in a long time.
All right.
Oh, I'm good.
Maybe some deep breaths then.
Deep breaths.
In and out.
And the air flows out. In and out. Like a perfectly calibrated air handler. I handle the air. I handle myself. It flows good, I flow good. Okay, I'm ready.
I know you're ready. Here, before you leave, I packed you a lunch.
Oh my God.
Yeah, here you go. He passes you a bagged sandwich and a small Ziploc bag full of carrots.
Oh my God, did you cut the crusts off? Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just had some extra time, and I thought, you could really use something before you go in for your big test.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You pull up to the testing center. You exit the white van. On his way out, Bryn honks 3 times as a form of encouragement.
Yeah, I'm gonna get her. Gonna get him. I'm ready. Got this.
The test does not go great.
Yeah, okay.
You got in there, and suddenly your mind once again races. The answers that you know can't come to your head, and you find yourself in a bit of a panic.
I know this. I swear, I know this like the back of my hand. I think I know this better than the back of my hand because I don't look at my back of my hand that often. And okay, it's okay. Like an HVAC. Air go in, air go out. Air go in, air go out. Air go in, air go out. Oh my God, I'm going to pass out. Go. Too much air. Not enough air. Go shine.
Time seems to pass more quickly than you know. The proctor collects your tests, and yours is very empty.
When the proctor comes by to take it, Recklin is just can't even make eye contact with the proctor. Just Recklin's he's a tall guy. Like he is 7.5 feet tall, and he has a pretty muscular build like that. And this is definitely like they're doing this in a high school or something. It's a high schooler's desk, and he's just like awkwardly in this desk and just huddled over it and just sweaty and uncomfy and just cannot bear to make eye contact with this proctor. Just kind of just lets them take it and just walks out, doesn't even finish the sandwich. He feels bad. He did not finish Bryn's sandwich, but he just goes out and just looks for Bryn in the white car, and there's no help in this situation.
The white car is pulled up front on time, as Bryn always is. Bryn greets you with a large smile, but upon seeing your current disposition, it sort of fades into a look of concern. So, Recklin, how did it go?
Oh, air went in, air went out, but it went out real quick. I don't think it went that well. I think I don't know what it is. It feels like just when I get in there, like I know this stuff. Like I know I'm telling you that I know this stuff, but like I know this stuff, but I can't. I promise I'm better than this, and I don't think it went. I don't think it went well.
Recklin, I'm sorry. I think it probably went better than you thought it did.
I did not answer half of the questions, so I don't think I could pass.
I've seen how these tests have gone in the past, and even though you've not done so well, you keep taking them, right? Aren't you proud of that at least? You wake up every day and you still go in there and you take that exam. I know plenty of folk who, after the first time failing something, would give up instantly and go home and decide that this wasn't for them. But I know that this is for you. I've seen the way that you work on those units, and you are a darn good HVAC repairman.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it is. I am proud I keep coming back. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That is what matters.
Yeah,
that is
right. Yeah.
I keep coming back. Man, you can't put me down if you even tried to. I'm Scooter. I'm a Chihuahua. You ain't never taken me down. Yeah. Okay. I got this.
I got something for us that you might like. He puts a hand on your shoulder. You know the old Hall of Heroes where they keep all those fancy statues of all those Shine Brigade members?
Oh my God, I used to go there all the time as a kid. Well, it's been a while.
It has been a while. Well, I got a call earlier this day that their HVAC system is acting up something fierce.
Oh my God, they got that dual system, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All the bells and whistles. Apparently it's falling apart at the seams.
Oh.
I mean, you know how it is. If you don't send somebody in there to maintain it every once in a while, those things just act right up.
Yeah. I don't know if I mean, a dual system. man, those things, a lot of bells and whistles on that. Yeah, I think if you'd have me, after having thoroughly bombed that test, if you'd have me on this assignment, I would love to. It's a cool system, and yeah, be good. That is a treat. Thank you.
Recklin, I wouldn't trust anybody else to come help me with this.
Thank you.
You guys drive to the Hall of Heroes located in Old Town, this section of Sunflower City where all of the older buildings are kept. The original buildings of Sunflower City when this place was first founded. The Hall of Heroes is a wonderful building filled with columns and pillars. It has been closed for the week for repairs and maintenance, something that they usually do every month or so. You are let in the large glass double doors, revealing larger-than-life statues of all of the Shine Brigade in years past. Did you hear about what happened to the Shine Brigade?
Yeah, it's just awful. I mean, they were out there fighting for us, and they're so young. Just awful.
Yeah, it's pretty devastating. I don't typically get too into those sorts of things, but I gotta say, I really had a lot of hope in them.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Well, looks like I'm not the only one who's gonna have to keep fighting. I got my exam to fight these Shine Brigade. They're really gonna have to keep fighting. I'm thankful that ain't me.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what I'd do if I was in their shoes.
I mean, if I bomb an exam, whatever, but if I bomb Shine Brigade, oof. Well, I'm happy we're just working on this.
Yeah. He leads you to a back room, sort of the industrial part of the Hall of Heroes, where there's wires that are mismanaged and drips and pipes that are leaky. The kind of place that an HVAC repairman calls home.
Oh, that's the smell of the smell of something rusting and I can't see it. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is my element. God, it's always so funny. They look so pristine on the outside, and then you go in the back room, and there's a mop here, and it's, oh my God, I love it.
I know, it's crazy what they hide behind a nice coat of paint, right?
Right. All right, let's get working.
Actually, I left something back in the car. I was hoping that maybe you would take a look in the meantime. Just, see what you can fix. I think that perhaps you don't even need me here at all, to be honest.
No, trust me. I mean, this one's a big model. I'll give her a look, but I'll give her a look or something. I'll get started without you, but I won't do anything too big. I promise.
Hey, even if you did, I would think that you would do a good job. Hey, don't get too in your own head, okay? You got this.
You're right. It's only so big, and I can only get so far into it. So, okay, I good. Thank you. I will get working on it. And Recklin kind of just kind of, thank you. And he starts taking off. He's wearing these canvas workman's pants, and he's jerry rigged, kind of a little strap on the side. It has all of his tools there. His pants have these massive knee pad patches because he's always having to duck into stuff. He's such a tall dude and nothing's made for him, so he's always having to put himself in. So he has these big knee patches on it, and he's messing around getting some tools out and sort of look at some of the calibrations of the mirrors. Oh man, they never do as found data on this. I never could tell exactly how they calibrate it. Starting to get against himself as he looks at it. Yeah, it's almost like when you get into such a space of concentration, it feels like flying. It feels like dancing. It feels like you're not even human anymore. Just this ethereal, wonderful experience. And despite himself, he was previously so far into this nitty gritty of I can't do the tables. It's just the tables doesn't even matter. The concept of a table is so foreign at this moment. It's so incredibly intuitive. And everything's right. Everything just sings. Everything feels whole and good and complete, and he's just working, and it's exciting, it's fun, it's humorous in a way that you could never describe a joke to anyone. The way a mirror arranged is not anything you could write about, but at this moment it feels like it's a whole essay written as to why some previous mechanic had done it like that. It feels like art in this moment. And he's at peace.
In this zone, Recklin, you fix this HVAC unit in probably record time. The humming of light passing through glass fills the room, and the Hall of Heroes is once again temperate. In this moment of pride, you feel light course through your veins. It is warm, it is calming, it is peaceful. You look down to your right arm, and you see that you are glowing a vibrant color. If you could describe what Recklin looks like in this moment.
It is almost if there was like some invisible clasp on his left shoulder that is suddenly unleashed, and this black cape just flutters out into the wind, catching all the lights in the Hall of Heroes. This cape is black, but it is adorned with little shards of mirrors. The shards are more heavily on the top and almost kind of make a feather-like pauldron and kind of dissipate more into black at the bottom, giving this ethereal cosmic sense. His right arm is covered in this chrome color blaster gun. It somehow, in its series of ancillary little mirror attachments, switches, and buttons, it somehow has a vibe both jerry-rigged and somehow elegant in its absurd complexity. He wears a helmet that curves out to the front, almost looking a little bit like a beak, and plumes to the back, and he wears this suit that any space lieutenant in a sci-fi movie would be proud of. It is absurd. It has some silly little red and violent lines coming across it, and a big old tacky silver belt in the center. He stands up, looks at the blaster arm, the totally tacky, insane bird helmet, and big mirror cape, kind of looks around, looks at the statues of the Shine Brigade around him. All right. You know, that was my bad. For talking about that anxiety. You know, I deserve this. Oh my god, what am I gonna do?
We move from the Hall of Heroes in Old Town to an upper-class home in the suburbs of Sunflower City. It is a nice house, well architected. There's a well-kept lawn out front filled with various flowers and colorful and vibrant smells. We see a family dinner, a daughter, a husband, and a wife, chatting amongst themselves in a somewhat tense manner. Anise Coxcomb, what is your character doing in this moment?
Anise is sitting at the dinner table, eating her dinner, as one tends to do. Her husband, Henry, cooked for them and for her and her daughter, Claire. She sits there eating all right and polite, trying to make some casual conversation with her husband and daughter, and noticing Claire on her phone at the dinner table. She speaks, Claire, do you have to be doing this at the dinner table? You know, you can set that down for a moment and enjoy some family time.
Yeah, I guess I could. I'm not gonna, though.
Claire.
Listen, what's your problem with this? It's just like what everybody's doing.
Look, we don't get that much time together as a family.
Claire texts violently.
You know, your father worked hard to make this.
Yeah, that's true, but, he burnt the potatoes, so, I don't know, it's hardly a nice meal.
Honey, I'm so... Claire, how dare you talk to your father that way?
I'm sorry, Dad. The potatoes are fine.
Thank you.
Whatever.
Claire, you know, we don't get to have family dinners that often. It'd be nice if you could join in the conversation with your father and I. After all, I have to go in 20 minutes or so. It's not like we have that much time.
She takes her phone and slams it down on the table in kind of a angsty way, leans back in her chair and crosses her arms, then slouches. Fine, what do you want to talk about?
Well, She don't, you don't have to act like this,
Like what?
all upset and all grouchy all the time. I mean, Henry, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, of course.
See, your father knows what I mean. Look, it's just, frankly, it's not a good look becoming of a young lady.
Oh, okay. So what do you want me to do? Sit straight up? You want me to eat my potatoes with my elbows off to the table? Is that what you want from me?
Look,
My day was great, by the way.
it wouldn't hurt. And then, yes, please tell me about your day.
Well, I like went to school, and then I hung out with Emily for a little while, I guess.
Oh, yeah, Emily. Yeah. You used to hang out with her back when you guys were kids as well, right?
No, Mom, that was Theresa.
Oh, sorry. So many names, I get mixed up a bit sometimes.
But yeah, we got smoothies or whatever.
Okay. Well, see, was that that hard?
No.
Thank you, Claire. Now, Henry, you were telling us about that interaction you had at work today. What was it? Something with your coworker Jacob?
Yeah, Jake. I told him that the plans were coming along well, and he agreed with me.
Okay, right. Well, that's great. I'm so glad to hear that, honey. I've been having a stressful time at work lately myself. We've got this big event coming up in just a couple days here, and I've talked to you all about some of the advertising that I've been doing.
Right. Yeah.
When I say work, I mean the community center, right? I mean, work is going fine, but yeah, the community center work, it is not easy working with volunteers, I'll tell you. I mean, they're lovely people, of course.
Right.
You tell them to go do what seems like a simple task, and then they get distracted talking to other people, and I get it. It makes sense.
Right.
They're not being paid and all that, but...
Is this about Joel with the hats again?
Yeah, it's about Joel with the hats again. I mean, I've told you about Joel plenty of times.
Right.
He talked about... We talked. He wanted a bit more responsibility. I was like, great. Let's start him on something simple. Let's get him designing some of these banners for the event coming up.
Right. Yeah.
And I even went and helped him, but it took him like a week to add much of anything to the initial design we sketched up.
That's a long time.
And it was a bit. We had to sit down with him, and we worked through stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's got a good spirit, but it's difficult getting that kind of energy, sometimes that you need.
I totally get it. Hey, I know you have to leave soon. I was wondering if maybe we could talk about something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Well, once we finish up your...
yeah, of course.
Yeah, Claire, would you be a dear and help clear the plates?
She stands up abruptly from the table, grabs the plates, and walks off quickly.
Thank you.
Yeah, whatever.
She has just been getting more and more attitude every day.
Well, kids get a certain age and, well...
I suppose so. She used to be such a cheerful kid,
Mm-hmm.
I just wish we could get some of that back from her.
Yeah, me too, honey.
Is that what you wanted to talk about? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay, great.
All right, well, honey, I've packed you some food if you want it. It's in the fridge.
So sweet.
I love you very much.
Thank you, dear. I love you too. She stands up, gives him a peck on the forehead, and then tilts his head up, a little peck on the lips. And then she goes and grabs her bag and throws on a cardigan and heads out for her evening shift, if you will, at the community center.
We cut forward a couple of days. At the Pollen Ridge LGBT plus community center, where the big event is taking place. This is an outreach event that Anise has worked on for months upon months. And seeing the fruition of these efforts is gratifying. There are more people here than anyone would have thought. You sort of take a backseat to the events, watching them as they unfold, eating a snack or two here or there, conversing with a couple people that approach you, mostly coworkers. Joel, with all the hats, walks up to you. He says, "This event is going far better than anybody thought it could have."
Oh, yeah, it's looking great. Yeah.
You see that he is wearing a British police officer's hat. None of his other clothes match this at all. He's wearing ripped jeans and a band t-shirt. It looks ridiculous. He says, "I just wanted to, take a moment and say, we're doing such a great job, and I'm so glad that those banners turned out so well. I'm so excited. I know it can take me a little while to do those kind of things, and, I don't always do them perfectly, but I think they really turned out well, and I'm really proud of that."
Yeah, sorry, I'm just distracted by your hat. What kind of hat are you wearing today, Joel?
Oh, this hat I found in a back alleyway. Some guy was selling derelict hats ripped off from some fantasy novel somewhere else, and I saw it and I was like, man, I don't have that hat at all. And so I forced myself. I went to that back alley. I was scared as all heck. And I bought the hat. I was so proud of myself. I didn't get killed. I'm still here. You can see me here, obviously.
That does take some courage. That's quite a hat. I don't think I've seen anything like it.
Do you like the hat? You hate it. You hate my hat.
What?
You don't like it at all.
Joel, I see the smile on your face. The joy coming off of you, and that makes the hat a good thing.
You see his eyes well up with tears, and he kind of faces away from you to hide it. He says, "Anise, you're too good to me." Anyway, there's lots of people out here, lots of socializing. There's more people here than I've ever seen. We got to make sure that we make a really big impact while we can.
Oh, of course. And I'm glad you did manage to get those banners up. I got to admit, I was a little bit worried last night, but you managed to get them up and all hung up perfectly well, straight across the top. Proud of you, Joel.
I'm proud of you too. And thank you. Joel, with all the hats, walks back into the crowd. And in this moment, you notice something strange. There's sort of a trail of green light that follows Joel as he heads back into the crowd. You rub your eyes for a second. Maybe it's something caught in your eyes, but you realize that it's still there. And now that you're focusing even more, you see these green trails of light off of everybody here. You focus on Joel for a second, trying to make sense of the situation. You see an afterimage of Joel crying alone. You see an afterimage of Joel getting yelled at by what looks like shadow figures, of him recoiling, of him without a hat. You blink your eyes once more, and in that moment it's gone. You look around you, up towards the Shine compound on top of the giant sunflower in the center of the city. Once again, you see green after trails, marking buildings, marking streets, marking corners. You look up at the Shine compound and you see that it is in flames. There are pieces of it missing. The wonderful flower garden that surrounds it reduced to dust. And you blink again, and it's back as it always was.
She rubs her eyes and looks again, and then closes her eyes and opens them again, trying to bring back that image or something, trying to figure out what the heck just happened. She's confused, a little anxious, and then looks around, notices other people mingling, and remembers the space she's in. She puts on a smile, just pretending everything's okay, though she's feeling nervous, and retreats back toward the snack table to grab a little cookie and munch on it.
The rest of the evening unfolds rather normally. Nothing out of the ordinary happens to you, nothing weird. We cut forward a little bit further. The event has wrapped up, the arduous task of cleanup finally completed. You have retreated to your small, humble office inside of the community center, a makeshift place that they set up for you for all of your contributions. You are on your computer searching, sort of like a WebMD style. Fill in your symptoms and see what is happening to you.
Green aftershock visions, burning fire. What the heck was that?
The internet searches return horrible catastrophes like cancer and bowel problems, none of which seem to perfectly match your symptoms at all.
Auntie Beatrice didn't have that kind of cancer. I can't know.
You look to your right, hearing commotion in this still center. One person that has been coming here more and more often in the past couple weeks is a girl named Rosa. Very troubled. You don't know all of her history, but you know that this is a very good place for someone like her. She talks with Joel with all the hats, and you see that on her face is a smile as wide as any have ever been. She laughs, she's joyous, she seems comfortable, and the after images start once more. You see flashes of a checkered history, of horrible things happening to her, of trauma and abuse, and you see her smile. In this moment, you are filled with warmth and brightness that you have never felt before. It courses through your veins. It makes you feel good, amazing, better than you've ever felt before in your entire life. Your eyes glow green. What happens to Anise in this moment?
As Anise looks to Rosa and is filled with these emotions, these feelings, and starts to get these images, her eyes glow green. She is consumed by these visions. She does not see much of what is going on other than these flashes of the past, things that are scary, things that are joyful. But on the outside, there's a whirlwind of activity. The desk in front of her tips over, spilling her laptop, her phone on the floor, coffee all over the ground. The chair scooches back against the wall, and in Anise's eyes, the visions come and they go, and she comes back into this room, seeing this mess. She finds herself standing where before she was sitting in front of the desk. She looks down at herself, confused, to notice that she has on these big plates of armor. There are enormous pauldrons on her shoulders with green, shining crystals on them. She has vambraces that go down and at her gloved but ungauntleted hand that have lines of this green, shining energy tracing down them. It's some sort of sci-fi fantasy kind of plate armor as she looks down and sees a great breastplate with these lines making sharp angles all over them. She has armor on her legs as well with similar lines and everything. And she looks up again, confused, and just sees Rosa there.
Rosa stares up at you with mouth agape, eyes wide. She says, "You're a frickin' superhero."
Wait. What? No. Superhero. There's a mistake. Hold on, what just happened?
The technological marvel company Cordytech sits in the center of the tech district. It towers far above any other building and employs the smartest and the greatest engineers from across Sunflower City and the globe. On floor 36, Griffin, the son of the head of Cordytech, works diligently overnight on another project that's been assigned to him by his father. We see a desk filled to the brim with scattered papers and tools thrown here or there. Griff works very hard on his current project. Griff, what do you look like in this moment?
Griffin is sort of mumbling to himself. I mean, there's clearly a lot going on in his head. You know, all of these thoughts racing, and you can tell he's feeling the clock, you know. A bead of sweat drips down his face, and he moves a lock of red hair out of his eyes, tucking it back behind pointed ears. And then he dives back into it. It seems as though this project has consumed his entire world for this moment. He's moving small red beads into this sort of prism of multicolored light, and the beads glow with this very, very powerful red color.
By your side, as always, your longtime bodyguard, become mentor, become friend. Jason Ivy leans against the wall and taps his foot impatiently. Jason Ivy is a huge man, ex-military, works out probably 3 times every single day. He wears a shirt that very barely fits him. He crosses his arms. Master Griffin, is it really necessary for us to stay overnight again?
Jason, I need more time. I have to finish this before tomorrow, or else, well, you know how Dad gets.
What could be so important that it couldn't wait until tomorrow?
Well, after the break-in, we've all been working double time, and I don't know, if I'm at that meeting tomorrow and I don't have this finished, he's just gonna give me that look again.
Griff, I've known you for a very long time. You've known me for a very long time, and that's why I'm comfortable in telling you that sometimes it's best to go home. When you're knee-deep in the jungles of Cerulean, when you're injured, your legs cut up, your feet exhausted from miles of trekking through the harsh swamplands, when you've lost more than you can count, when you're not even sure if you yourself have been lost, do you know what you must do?
What?
You must go home. A soldier who cannot fight is not a soldier at all, Griffin. A soldier who is not rested, who has not eaten, who has not gotten his daily nutrients, cannot operate at the level that a soldier must.
But I'm not a soldier. I can go without a night of sleep. I just need a few more cups of coffee and it's gonna be fine.
Griffin, are we not all soldiers in our own right? Marching to the beat of our own drum, going about our day-to-day tasks, trying to do things, working together as a unit?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm sorry, Griff. I know that sometimes I can go into heated rants, and I understand how important it is that you finish this for your father.
Well, listen, the sooner I'm done, the sooner I can go home, and I really need to focus. These red crystals are super temperamental. Can you just... I appreciate the help, Jason, but can you give me a little bit of space?
Right, Master Griff. Can I perhaps get you a coffee or something?
Yeah, double espresso. Thanks.
Double. All right, yes. He disappears into Cordatech. One of the many illustrious features of this company is that it has great employee benefits, such as a coffee station on every floor. He returns after not too long with a cup of coffee in hand and silently places it by your desk.
Griff doesn't even pick it up. He doesn't really acknowledge that it's been set there at all. All of his focus is going into this project. He's wearing a little eyeglass so he can see with precision where he's putting each of these crystals. And he has a pair of tweezers in one hand, moving them very slowly and carefully.
Jason Ivy places a firm and comforting hand on your shoulder and then begins to walk around the room. Jason Ivy is anything but patient. Waiting around drives him insane. You hear sounds of tapping in the background. You see that he takes a set of pencils and pretends that they're drums on a table and gets bored with that eventually. He walks over to the area that you keep your stuff. Absentmindedly, he picks up a small piece of tech that's spilled outside of your backpack. A tiny mechanical hummingbird-looking thing. Jason can't help himself when he says, Master Griffin, I'm so sorry to interrupt. What is this?
Hey, be careful with that.
He goes to put it down and, not knowing his own strength, accidentally snaps a piece of it off. Master Griffin, once again, terribly sorry to interrupt. I appear to have snapped a piece of your tech in half. I apologize greatly.
This definitely draws Griff's attention away from what he's doing for the first time. And Griff stands up quickly. Jason, let me see it.
Yes, of course, Master Griffin. He hands it over to you.
Griffin meddles with it a little bit and realizes that it's not actually broken. This piece was supposed to come off. It's a little feather. And he silently just clicks that feather back into place. And he's like, oh, okay, it's okay. It's okay. You didn't break it, but you've got to be really careful with these. They're delicate.
Right. Yes, Master Griffin. Well, if breaking some of your things is what gets you to take a break from your work, perhaps I should break your things more often.
Please don't. Please don't. You can just ask next time. Well, I guess you asked before. And
Of course, no problem. The fault lies with me. You know, sometimes, even though we are a well-disciplined squad, it's easy to forget your way, to go on your own, to be a maverick of sorts. At times, I found myself being a maverick, and when that happens, you need to recognize that you need to atone for what you've done. Everybody makes mistakes, but what marks a true person of heart, is what they do afterwards, Griffin. And for that, I am sorry for breaking your contraption.
you didn't break it. It's supposed to do that. I don't know if I've ever been a maverick at anything.
Jason Ivy walks over to one of the very large stained glass windows that cover the building of Cordatech. He looks out over the town. You can see all of it. You can see the massive sunflower that resides in the center of the city, the many speckled neighborhoods throughout the town.
Griffin looks over at him, looking at the window, and feels kind of bad that Jason's just been waiting with him. You know, he hasn't really been thinking about how him working all these late nights affects Jason's day, because this man is always his shadow in the background. And sometimes he takes that for granted. So he takes this small hummingbird device and he grabs a few more out of his backpack. They're all varying sizes, some of them as small as a fingernail, some of them could fit in the palm of your hand. And he brings them over to Jason, along with what appears to be a headband with one sort of lens over it. It's a shade of indigo and seems to kind of ripple in the light, the crystal refracting the lights in the room. And he sets it over his forehead and clicks the visor down. He's like, Jason, let me show you how this works. I've actually been really excited about it. I haven't had much time to work on it lately.
As you're talking, out of the periphery of your eyes, you instantly recognize a mistake. The red crystal that you left working on the desk, unstable, cracking at the seams, explodes. You see that the invention that you spent so long working on flies across the room in a barrage of red light and explosions and slams into Jason Ivy. Jason Ivy crashes outside of the window of Cordatech, flying through the sky, cascading towards his death. What do you do in this moment?
I think time almost seems like it's slowing down a little bit. But it's not the time slowing down, it's Griffin's mind speeding up. He looks out the window and he sees the hummingbird. These devices are not finished. They don't really work the way they're supposed to. But not knowing what else to do, he runs for the window, and the hummingbirds take off behind him, wrapping around him. More comes streaming out of the backpack, following the directions he's giving them through his mind. He, without a thought, leaps through the window and grabs onto Jason Ivy's hand, holding him with all of his strength.
Suspended in the air, Jason Ivy looks up in awe, in fear, but also in relief. A single hand holding onto yours. He looks up at you and says, Master Griffin, good lord, you're glowing.
Griffin, as he looks out this window, his mind seems to be taking information in that he never would have noticed before. Suddenly, he can count exactly how many windows there are on this building, how many trees are in the yard. Distances become numbers, people become numbers, places and things sort of click in his head in a way that they've never been able to before. His mind is just processing the world faster than he's ever experienced. He looks down at Jason and he says, Jason, are you all right?
I'm fine, but I don't understand. I thought this thing you were working on, it wasn't ready.
It's not supposed to be. These weren't working yesterday.
You bring Jason Ivy up to the floor 36, where you both place your feet on firm ground, which is a relief from the suspension in midair that was previously your experience. Jason Ivy glances you up and down with wide eyes. He says, Master Griffin, I don't mean to alarm you, and I am very grateful for you saving my life in that moment, but you are literally glowing. There is light cascading from your body.
Griffin looks down at his feet, where violet light is just coming off in like a mist at his feet, swirling around his body, and he jumps. He's absolutely shocked, and nothing like this has ever happened before. Looking at his body, a suit of violet armor has formed around him. It's thin and sleek and hugs tightly to him. It seems to give off a sense of motion when you look at it. The way the light plays between the little scales, and the hummingbirds around him settle onto his shoulders and his back and click into place, and there's a pair of wings there waiting behind him of these interlocking hummingbirds.
Master Griffin, I have scoured the bioluminescent plains of Cerulean. I have seen everything I thought there was possible to see. but I've never seen this before.
I think I should go to bed, and Griffin passes out.
In a bougie part of Sunflower City, with large mansions of houses, artistry, museums, and wealth, we come across the house of Delilah. Upstairs, at the back of the hallway, in a room darker than the rest, is the room of Delilah. Signs are scratched onto the front of it. There is a certain dark aura that emanates from the room. Delilah, what are you doing in this moment?
Delilah is a satyr in her early 20s. She is currently sitting in front of a mirror desk in her bedroom. The walls of the bedroom are covered in band posters, almost as if they were wallpaper. Everything in the room is either black or a very dark shade of blue. There's almost zero lightness or color to anything in the room. Delilah is sitting at the desk. She's currently wearing a mid-thigh length skirt over her hooves, which have a muddy brown color to them of the fur. Going up from that, she's wearing a decently modest corset and a denim jacket dyed black over that. And she's currently wearing a pair of very expensive over-the-ear noise-canceling headphones, listening to some prog rock. As she sits at this mirror desk and attempts to get the waterline of her eyeliner just right.
You hear the screeching of a van, followed by a loud, obnoxious honking. It's almost as though someone has laid on the horn. Your bandmates have come to pick you up.
Delilah takes a look out the window, curses to herself, and is torn between wanting to get the eyeliner on right and knowing that she needs to get going right now. She looks back in the mirror one more time, raises her hand up to her eyeline, and then changes her mind, sets it down, grabs a bass case that is covered in stickers for bands that are 20 years old. She grabs the case as well as a duffel bag of a few other things that she needs and bolts out the door of her bedroom.
Unfortunately, on the way out of the house, you must pass your mother, Cynthia Garrick's inspiration room, the place where she does artistic visions, the place where she imagines, where she dreams, the place where true art happens. You see her wearing a beautiful sundress, a hat made of straw. She is smashing bottles on the floor and has a paintbrush in her hand that she spreads on like a terrible Jackson Pollock to the shattered shards of glass. Delilah, are you on the way out?
Yes, Mother, I'm headed out for the evening.
Can I get your opinion on this piece that I'm working on? I really have made it a sort of metaphor for the poor stranded folk on Cerulean and the state of the war. What do you think? Is it provocative enough?
Well, it looks like shards of glass painted over.
That is so provocative. Where are you heading tonight, dear?
Oh, it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna go play some music.
All right. Yes. Have fun playing your music and, yes, I'll see you later, okay?
Sure, yeah, whatever. It's, like I said, it's not a big deal. I'll see you later, I guess.
Okay, use protection, okay?
No, I don't think so. And Delilah's gonna turn around and head out the door.
Okay. You load into this derelict white van. There are dents in it. It looks like someone has purposely taken a baseball bat to it. You know for a fact that this was one of your bandmates, making the van look a little bit more stylistic. In the backseat, you have your band members. There's Raven, the Shadar Kai, with white skin but dark, emo-like clothes. You have Rocco, the lead singer of the band. He's wearing a shaggy beanie, clothes that don't quite fit him, that sort of droop over his body. Of course, there's Squee. He's wearing a polo shirt and khakis. His polo shirt is tucked into the khakis with a nice belt and circle-rimmed glasses. And then there's Rocco's aunt, the person that helps organize everything, who this van technically belongs to, who supports the band with all of her heart. Rocco greets you. Hey, what's up, Delilah? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine, I guess.
Yeah, you ready for tonight's gig?
Hopefully it goes okay.
Okay, all right, sweet. He puts the car into gear, and the van rattles down the street, breaking up the otherwise peaceful quiet of this nice neighborhood. You roll into the industrial district. This part of the industrial district is especially grimy. There's empty warehouses, there's trash littering the streets. You'd be hard-pressed not to find someone drunk and stumbling behind every corner. This venue is probably one of the grittiest that you've ever seen. You've played this venue a couple times. Much akin to your mother's inspiration room, there's broken glass that scatters the floor. The crowd is a mosh pit of people actually fighting each other. Usually there's a certain respect that goes into these heavy metal mosh pits. There's none here. People are punching each other. People are tripping each other. There's a guy just being thrown to and fro between the crowd like a beach ball. There's a band playing on front. They're not that great. You've heard them play before. You guys are one of the openers for the big band later. You are backstage, talking amongst your band members. All right, so Delilah, you ready with the set list tonight?
Yeah, here we go. I think we should do our fairy tale song at the end.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm totally down for that. I gotta learn some of the lyrics, I think, still a little bit, but yeah, I think we can pull it off.
I thought everyone was going to be practicing it this week.
Oh, yeah, well, it was Raven's birthday, so, we decided, we could, practice the lyrics on the way, and then it just, didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but Raven's solid on the drums, you look at Raven, he just grunts. He says, and yeah, Squee practiced everything. Squee's like, yeah, I got everything down pretty much. Yep, I'm pretty ready.
Cool. Well, then, yeah, let's just go over it as much as we can before we have to go on. Hopefully it's not before too long now.
As you say this, you hear an announcer at the front room call for your bands to play. He says, all right, calm down. Up next, we got a band from deep in the underground. Give it up for Crypt Gorgeous. You take the stage. The audience is still a mess of people fighting. A couple of them look up at you, and you're greeted by a cacophony of both cheers and booing and sneering. You begin playing. The energy that you put into the room is electrifying to the point that people get even more energetic than they were before somehow. What does Delilah look like in this moment?
In this moment, some of the hesitance that Delilah has been displaying up to this point washes away from her as she just focuses and gets really dialed into performing the song. The intense energy of the crowd also just dissipates as she is completely just in her own mind, focused on what is going on. It's almost like there's nobody else remotely near to her. She begins to feel content, and she feels as though there's nothing in the world that could possibly be wrong.
Getting into the zone of playing is a magical thing. But even in the zone, you notice something like a blip of light in the crowd. A lighthouse beckoning for ships to dock. You see a man. You know for a fact that he's wearing some sort of outfit, some sort of costume, but when you look in for details, you can't quite clarify exactly what he's wearing. You try to look at the button on his shirt, and you can't tell whether it's a button at all. This man looks at you with fierce intensity, and you blink, and he's gone. You get back into playing the song, forgetting about this moment. Finally, in the set list, Happily Never After, a song about fairy tales and the juxtaposition of the joy that usually goes into them.
Yeah, it begins playing, and it is just a song of totally turning every fairy tale on its head. Talks about princes getting brutally eaten by dragons, princesses dying to poison fruit. It is taking everything that is fun and good about a fairy tale and just twisting it. I imagine as Delilah's playing this, she begins experiencing along the lines of her base blue shimmers along the strings as it begins to kind of pop with the vibrations of her playing her instrument. It begins to slowly travel up her fingertips, onto her forearms, this sapphire blue light. It is nothing like Delilah's ever seen before. It has a cold feeling to it. And it's soon followed by a bright yellow, almost like a light being turned on. This like combination of the dark blue and bright yellow begins to swirl as this almost borealis of lights traveling across her body, completely covering her from head to toe in bright shining light. She is almost lifted off her feet as her clothing begins to be washed in it and begin to change shape. Almost in an instant, she's, instead of the grungy goth kind of clothes that she was wearing, she's now wearing a beautiful princess ball gown with studded, sparkly gemstones across it, and around the single horn that grows out of her forehead, a shining gold tiara has grown around the horn on her crown.
You see that for the first time in this venue's history, nobody is throwing punches. There's not a single person cursing, not a single person drinking. The only voice that rings throughout is Rocco's aunt trying to peddle merch. They look to the stage with wide eyes and confusion. None of them speak a word.
Delilah, looking herself over, like feeling an intense anxiety from having every eye in the venue on her, looks up like a deer in the headlights at this huge crowd and just goes, "What the?" And then there's a twang of like an off-key bass.
The last week has been a blur of emotions. Each of you has received an invitation to go directly to the Shine compound, the home of the Shine Brigade, the glittering bastion that stands firm in the center of the town. You've been instructed to go to Grand Shine Station, this massive train network that starts in the center of the city and cascades out to all of its major regions. Through each of your own individual means, you've made your way here, followed the instructions detailed on the note, and found yourself standing outside of a security checkpoint. You arrive one by one. The first person to get there, cordial as always, is Griff, followed quickly by Michael Brown.
Jason, I think you should just wait here. I don't need you to come in with me. There's not a safer place in the city than the Shine compound.
You say that now, Griff, but you know where kings are assassinated? On their throne.
I don't even know what that means.
I hope to gloom that you never will.
I'm gonna be okay. Stop worrying so much. You sound like me.
All right, fine, Master Griffin, but if anything happens to you, call me as soon as possible. I will be just a finger's reach away, I promise.
I'll call. Don't worry.
You see that Jason Ivy sort of backs up slowly, never taking his eyes off you. He loads onto one of the trains, and even as the train takes off out of the station, you see his eyes trail you as it goes. He waves a sad, diminished goodbye.
That guy. Oh, hi.
Hi.
I'm Griff. Nice day out.
Yeah.
Well, what are you doing here?
Got a note. Told me to come here. Now I'm here.
You're one of the other ones?
One of what?
Well, I got the same note too. It said we were going to be members of the Shine Brigade. Isn't that crazy?
This is just some sort of scam, isn't it?
I don't know. They had the right seal. I checked it by my dad, and he said that it looked legitimate.
Alright, well, I kept my wrench on me just in case, so if we get in trouble.
Recklin arrives on a train, fresh off a hard day's work.
Yeah, so you see this fairly imposing 7.5 foot tall furbolg. Fairly aggressive, not aggressive, there we go. What's the opposite of like aggressive friendly? There's a term for it. Emphatically, you see this 7 foot tall furbolg come at you emphatically. Huge smile on his face. He has this very large, well-kept chestnut beard, very long kind of hair that flows down, just coming at you, hair in the wind. Oh, you guys, hi. My name is Recklin Chad Brookridge. It's lovely to meet you. You guys also would did you get the whole Shine Brigade letter? Lovely to meet you. Oh my gosh, it's lovely to meet you. Hi, Recklin. My name is Recklin.
Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. What's your name?
Griffin looks up, his neck craning a considerable amount to make eye contact with this massive figure. My name's Griffin Cordinarius.
Griffin Cornelius. That's a lovely name. Cornelius. I feel like I've heard that before.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names. I'm sorry. Well, it's lovely to meet you. And this fella here, what's your name?
Oh, Michael.
Michael.
Mm.
Got a last one?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Well, it's super nice to meet you, Recklin.
Lovely to
Did
meet
you... was your trip over here okay?
Oh, it's been a while since I've taken the train, you know. Normally I've been trying out I've been trying out to bike commute places. It's not been working well, but the train, lovely. Love it. Did you take the train?
How else would I have gotten here?
Oh, lovely. Okay.
It's a train station.
Boy, it's
Anise arrives on a train and walks up to the group.
Anise actually comes up the stairs, and on these wide stairs, she actually like stops maybe like 7 feet to the right of this group of people. She checks this note that she's holding again, looks up at the building, and then just kind of puts it down and stands there, waiting patiently, kind of casually looking around. She's this short, like 5'3" woman with tan skin with this bluish undertone, and she is well dressed for the occasion. She has this nice, like dark brown bag that she's holding with both hands as she waits, standing there with some like 3-inch heels and a long cardigan that goes down to about her knees.
Hi.
Hello. Are you?
I'm
You're
sorry.
not part of the welcoming.
I just saw the note
There's something-
in your hand, and Griffin reaches in his backpack and pulls out an identical note.
You're. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that all of you were. So this is the group?
yes, this is the group Recklin. Lovely to meet you. What's
hello.
your name?
Anise.
Oh
Great
my
to meet
gosh.
you. Wow.
Oh, it's
You know, you have such a lovely beard.
thank you. Yeah, I've been
Matches
trying-
your eyes beautifully. Sorry for getting distracted there. And you too?
Griffin, nice to meet you.
Griffin, lovely to meet you. And Anise. And she goes to shake your hand.
Griffin kind of takes it limply and just shakes it a little bit, and
She
then
gives it
reaches
like a
back.
nice firm business
Aw,
shake.
Griff. Keep giving old dead fish. What's that now? Come on, we're part of the Shine Brigade together. I need at least a little lively salmon.
What's a dead fish?
That fish handshake, that little limp.
Can I try it again?
Yeah.
He reaches over to Anise again and squeezes a little
Sure.
harder. There's not a lot of muscle strength here.
Why don't
Is that
you go
better?
try it with Recklin, was it?
Yeah, you can call
Yeah,
me Rick,
you
though.
guys maybe try and who are you?
Oh, Michael.
Michael.
Michael's hand
Nice.
moves off the wrench that he is holding in his pocket, which he has been holding onto since Recklin walked up. Michael being a little intimidated by their size, and moves it to shake your hand, giving a very firm handshake.
She goes to shake. hesitates a bit, seeing the some like grease splotches on your hand, and then just she's already started. She's got to commit. She goes for it. And she
It's a nice strong handshake you got there.
Well, that's how it is in the corporate world. You got to have a strong handshake, or they don't take you seriously. So this is. I gotta admit, you guys aren't necessarily what I was expecting. I mean, to be fair, I wasn't expecting to be here either until about a week and a half ago.
I have honestly no idea what I'm doing here, but Jason says that I had to come and that it's like a duty or something, and so I guess I'm trying to lean into it like he told me to.
When the Shine calls, I guess you have some sort of duty to show up. But I guess I'm glad that we're all as lost as one another.
You're approached by a man with circular glasses. He's wearing a fine button-up suit with a red tie. All of his dress is very well and precisely put together. He carries a clipboard in his left hand and a coffee in the right. He says, it's good to see all of you. I think that we might be missing one. As he says that, you see a train roll into the station. 10 minutes late, Delilah arrives at the scene. What does Delilah look like in this moment?
Yeah, Delilah is wearing the same skirt from the night that we met her, but now she's wearing just a regular old black hoodie with a band logo on it. She comes up the same stairs that Anise did and takes one look at the ragtag group in front of her, sighs, turns around to leave.
Excuse me, if you could come over here. You are Delilah, correct?
And then she like, knowing that she can't leave now, turns back around and she goes, yes, I'm Delilah. I'm here to dispute this citation that I seem to have gotten. Listen, I don't know. I promise I wasn't doing any jaywalking or anything illegal. Like, me and my friends, we were just completely minding our own business.
It is not a citation, to be clear. Please, come over here and I'd be happy to explain everything better. My name is Smith Bellflower. I am sort of the administration organizer of the Shine compound. Things need to get scheduled, people need to get hired, fired. It all sort of falls under my purview. It is...
Can you fire us?
Well, no, of course not. You are the new and upcoming Shine Brigade. You were selected by the Grand Force, the Shine. I would have no purview firing or hiring you. It's something above my pay grade.
Are you sure it was supposed to be us?
We all have a kind of similar thought here. I'm not so sure I was supposed to be here either.
I mean, the last Shine Brigade, they were cool. No offense to everybody, but I guess we just don't really fit the part.
It is true, you don't look like the previous Shine Brigades, and it is unconventional, but I would never doubt the Shine and who it has selected. If the Shine has picked you as the heroes of the next generation, as the saviors of Sunflower City, then, well, I'm apt to believe it.
Now, there's got to be some way to, reverse some of this process, have it select someone else, right? I mean, some of us have busy lives doing other things, and I'm sure there are people more apt to the job.
Yeah, or is this like a full-time position also? I just curious. Is this full-time?
Yes, this is, of course, a full-time position. Okay. You will be provided with all the benefits that come with such a full-time position. We will take care of amenities and rooming and board and food and training and all of those likes. Anything that you need, we are here to support you.
Okay.
No, I possibly couldn't. I'm far too busy working part-time at the Veggie Shack. You're gonna have to cross me off the list or something.
We can work around your schedules. How about would you be okay with following me for the day? You seem to have blocked it out in your schedules already. Just come see the Shine compound, see what you think of it, see how you feel about the amenities, and we can discuss further later.
Yeah, sure, but just know that you're costing me money every minute that I'm here.
I guarantee you will be paid back for all of your time here and more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, you guys gonna make me be the one who has to say it? I mean, like, how much money? Like, what's the going rate?
Well, there is a substantial sum. You will be paid more money than you've likely ever seen in your time here on Sunflower City. It is not insubstantial.
Wow. Seems like a great use of taxpayer dollars.
Well, considering that the Shine Brigade risks their lives every day for the good of the city, for the good of the people, considering that the Shine Brigade stands against the forces of Cerulean, stands against Grandmaster Frown, stands for everything that is good about our fair town, I would think that they are compensated quite fairly.
Do we look like the kind of people who can stand against anything?
Now is not the time for worries. Come see the Shine compound. I promise that'll change your mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
They better have a good PowerPoint on how we're going to do this.
You are taken through a security checkpoint and descend a long set of stairs into an underground tunnel. The Grand Shine Station surrounds the massive sunflower that sprouts out of the root of the city. On top of this sunflower, at the very tippity top, is the Shine compound. You load into a secret underground train system that takes you from Grand Shine Station on the perimeter of this giant sunflower to the center. You arrive in a sort of dingy underground concrete room. You are led to an elevator. This is the Shine compound. Well, I suppose I'll let it talk for itself. You load into the elevator and take it up to the very, very top floor. It takes a good 5 minutes for the elevator to make it to the top. This building is immense. There's so many floors that you pass, and the elevator is surrounded by glass that looks out over the city. You see this massive flower garden that surrounds the Shine compound that stretches almost beyond the horizon. You can see every part of the city from here. Every roof, every town. It is more beautiful than anything that you've seen. You finally arrive at the top. You hear the ding of the elevator. You're led to a room that is pretty much only glass on its walls. You see this massive crystal in the center that is glowing and pulsating with energy. Light radiates off of it and hits the window and then shines back in a beautiful tessellation of rainbows. You are at the top of the Shine compound. This place that you've read about in news, seen in books, heard about in legends. You now stand here.
Wow, is that the crystal pillar?
Yes, that is the central Shine capacitor. You may have heard of it before. It redirects all of the emotions and the light that we get from the Shine and powers pretty much our entire city.
This is so much more beautiful than the pictures. Wow.
It's not that pretty.
God. This guy.
And he's just like looking over at him with a confused face at this point.
Can I touch it?
Be careful. Yes, you can touch it and observe it if you'd like.
Griff kind of slowly makes his way up. His eyes are just saucers staring at this thing. It's just one of the most beautiful pieces of tech he's ever seen in his entire life, and he lays his hand on it.
Delilah's going to lean to Michael and be like, I bet some money that it's going to fry him instantly.
I'll take that bet.
You place a candid hand on the form. You feel the same warmth, the same glowing energy that you felt when you first transformed. It is lovely. It is like taking a warm bath.
Guys, you gotta try this. I can't even describe it to you. And he waves over at the others.
Say no more. Recklin's on the way. This is some exciting stuff. Absolutely, Recklin. Just kind of right next to you. Puts his hands all around it, trying to put his face right on. Oh my god. Is this what it's like to feel true contentment? Oh, I couldn't even put it into words if I tried. You said it perfectly.
And he leans over to the facilitator. Is this all on the schedule?
We have put in ample room to allow you to sort of get used to everything. So yes, feel free if you'd like.
It is magnificent. And Anise will start making her way over there.
All of you that interact with the central shine capacitor feel this same warmth, this same glowing energy. The elevator dings, and you see a satyr walk out. She is wearing a illustrious red velvet dress that drapes behind her. She has a full face of makeup that has been done very meticulously. You can't find a single line in the wrong place. She's wearing a beautiful array of jewels on her fingers and a pearl necklace on her neck. You can tell that she pays a lot of attention to the way that she looks. Hello, Shine Brigade. It is so nice to see you. I am Jill Sargosa. I am the main engineer for the Central Shine Capacitor and also the media correspondent. I am taken aback being in this moment. Seeing you all here fills my heart with so much joy, I cannot even recount it to you. Once again, I'm Jill Sargosa. She goes around the room and shakes every single one of your hands. You are Anise, right? Yes,
lovely
Anise.
to meet you. She grasps her hand with both hands and gives it a warm shake.
Oh, I love your outfit. It is so befitting of a woman of your stature.
And you as well. That necklace, darling, you're doing wonderful.
Well, I appreciate it. And you, Griffin Cordinarius, I've heard so much of your work at Cordatech. I am just so impressed every day by the new technology that comes out of there, and I'm sure that you've had quite a big hand in it.
Griff reaches over and grabs her hand as firmly as he can and just says, "Lively salmon."
Oh,
that wasn't supposed to be out loud. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for having us here. Or I guess, do we live here? Thanks for being in our... It's nice to meet you.
yes, it's lovely to meet you, Griffin. Let me just say you are even more handsome than the depictions in the paper.
Griffin blushes and looks away. He stares at his feet and gets to know his toes very well in this moment.
Michael Brown, the only mechanic in a 5-mile area to have a 5-star review. I have heard so much of the work that you do for your clientele. I know for a fact that not a single person has left unsatisfied.
Yeah, I guess. So do you know why we're here?
Yes.
You know why the Shine picked us?
Of course, you are the most worthy, the most talented people in all of Sunflower City. The Shine has picked you specifically because it can sense the good in one's soul. It can sense the heart, the ability to undergo trials and tribulations. And seeing you in person, I just know that the Shine made the right choice.
Michael kind of side-eyes at Griff, who is staring at his toes. Uh-huh.
Anise, meanwhile, is just kind of like shifting uncomfortably a little bit.
She looks over towards Recklin. Recklin. I have been told there is not an HVAC unit that you cannot fix.
Oh. Someone pay you to say that. That's so nice. You know,
no.
I feel underdressed here, and Recklin looks down. He wore his Save the Ducks Fun Run t-shirt to the event. It has like some paint stains on it. This is one of his work shirts. Like, I feel a little underdressed, but it's so lovely to be here.
I mean, on the contrary, saving the ducks is such an important part of giving back to the community, of caring, of being a good person. I think it suits you exactly as it needs to. I think it looks great.
Wow, you know, I wish my ex said something that nice about this t-shirt, but thank you.
Ooh.
I should have said that. I'm sorry.
And let me just say, whoever your ex was, they were a fool.
Oh, jeez.
Delilah, Delilah, Delilah. When I asked around, I didn't learn a lot about you, to be honest. I heard a couple blurbs here and there about the passion that you put into instrument, and seeing you in person, I am blown away by your sense of style, by your dedication to who you are. I think it is simply wonderful.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Of course.
Does anyone know how to turn off the Shine costume thing? Because I probably spent 8 hours stuck like that. And it'd be really handy to know how to switch that off.
Yes, of course. We will begin a series of training for all of you that'll help you learn more about how your powers work and what the Shine means to you. Hopefully you won't get stuck in that dress for another 8 hours, though. Let me just say, I think it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
It is so lovely to meet all of you. I look forward to working more closely with you in the future and really helping you bring out your inner Shine. Is it too early to hug?
No, it's
Would
never
you
too
like
early.
to
No,
do
I think we should all. That's a good. Michael, get
turns-
over here.
Michael turns and walks away.
Oh my god. Well,
Come on, Griff. You enjoy the hug.
I have to... Okay.
Delilah, you look like a hugger if I've ever seen one.
Oh, wow. Michael, hey, what's over there?
Come on, you two. It's for the moment.
I'll just have to hug extra hard for two people.
You bring it in. She gives you a firm hug. I believe, Smith, I think that the next step is to send them down to the training floor. Smith says, yes, I think that is about right. This part, I'm afraid we will have to separate from you. I will meet up with you afterwards.
Hold on. The training floor, isn't there some sort of video or slideshow we need to go through first?
I was told not to give you too much information. Just stay confident, okay?
Oh boy.
What you're going to want to do is take the elevator down to floor B4. Everything will be revealed to you then.
That's not at all ominous.
I agree. Let's go. I didn't see Mama say that.
Griff turns and sees Jill leaving and sees Smith leaving and starts to panic a little bit. He's met 2 people today, and that's a great number to meet and then go home and take a long nap. But knowing that he can't do that, he walks toward the elevator and sighs a little bit and hops in.
Anise puts on a strong face, straightens her back, and starts walking with business-like vigor to the elevator.
Ah, gloom. All right. Michael, with a shorter stature, grease-covered palms, walks over to the elevator as well.
Delilah looks at the invitation she got, sighs very loudly, and mumbles to herself, I really wish this was a jaywalking citation. And she'll head over to the elevator.
You take the elevator down the numbered floors. Once again, it takes you 3 minutes, and the anticipation is thick in the air. The elevator continues to descend, making a dinging sound with every numbered floor until it arrives at B4. The door swings open. You see a room filled with chaos. The first thing that your eyes trail to see is a unicorn on the floor with blood pouring out of many stab wounds. Standing over him is a dark and ominous figure. It stares at you with menace. You've seen these depictions in books, on the TV. You've heard his name before, and seeing him before you takes your breath away. Grandmaster Frown stands above this unicorn with a knife in his hands. Blood drips from its edges. Roll for initiative.
What?
Fuck, dude.
What? Of course, not one.
Starting
First
off
That was a great way to start this off. How would Rex spin that?
Yeah, just elevator music's playing up there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am curious to see what your end score is, though. On that initiative roll.
Okay.
I got a 12.
So Griff got a 12.
Mm-hmm. Nice middle of the pack roll.
Nice. Anise?
2.
2. Okay. Michael?
9. And I also want to
9.
mention my AC is 16, not 17 now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 1.
Let's go.
Plus 0 to initiative.
And Delilah?
6.
6.
Okay.
We're doing great.
It's been a hard
No, this
day.
is so apt for the party. Like,
We're doing great,
Griff.
guys.
You're not middle of the pack. You're the leader.
you're the goddamn leader.
I
Glooming leader.
don't know if I should be going first.
You got this, Griff.
What? I have a feeling I'm going to get pushed into a lot of situations in this campaign. A strange suspicion.
Seems to work out so well, you know.
To describe the scene before you, you see, in the center of the room, the Grand Shine capacitor pierces both the ceiling and the floor. This very large, oblong form takes up the center of the room. You look around you. There is rubble. There are small things that are on fire. The entire place looks like a tornado has come through it. Grandmaster Frown stands in front of you, a long distance away, knife poised in the air, ready to strike.
Seeing this chaos, Anise gasps, backs up to the back of the elevator, and Rack, close the door!
What? Oh, gee.
First up in the initiative order, Grandmaster Frown. He takes his wicked dagger. You see an infused blue energy cascade around it. Light flickers off the metal of the blade, and he plunges it into the unicorn. With necrotic energy, you see the unicorn's body fade into nothing. He looks towards you. You see the dark of his eyes. Blackened pupils. He looks towards the first person that he can see in the elevator with menace. He says, "Shine Brigade, it is so nice to see you." He raises another arm in the air. You see blue energy once again cascade around his wicked finger. He points it at Griff and unleashes a torrent of blue light. He rolls a 15.
Does not hit.
Out of instinct, Griffin dodges to the side. You see the blue ray slam into the back wall. Decay seems to take it immediately as the elevator wall drips to the ground. Up next is Griffin.
Griffin's gonna jump up and just start mashing the elevator door button, and when he realizes that elevator door buttons don't actually do anything, he's very disappointed, to say the least. Not knowing what else to do, he is going to run and hide behind Recklin and just try to take cover behind the biggest thing that is around him, and ends his turn there.
The elevator door does not close. Up next on the initiative order is Michael.
Michael, looking at this absolutely terrifying figure that he's only ever seen on the news and always in chaos and with bloodshed around him, pees himself a little bit and starts mashing the other floor buttons instead of just the closed door button, leaving a layer of like orangish grease on each button as he goes. Does that do anything?
I will say go ahead and roll a general intelligence check.
15.
15. You've worked in mechanics for a long time. You look at this elevator, you look out the back of the decaying wall, and you get the sense that whatever collided with it has made the elevator non-functional.
I think that's it. Michael is too afraid to move.
With a little pee in his pants, Michael Brown stays in the elevator. Up next on the initiative order is Delilah.
You said that there's like rubble and stuff scattered around the room, right?
Yes, there is rubble of all sorts that scatter about the room.
Is there any rubble that I could get to?
Absolutely, there is such an ample amount of rubble that just walking 5 feet in any direction would get you where you need to be.
Cool. Delilah, taking one look at the elevator wall and realizing she does not want to wind up like that wall, is going to immediately, using her cloven hooves, well equipped for clearing long distances, she is going to hop to the nearest amount of rubble that she can completely hide behind. And the whole time she's just like, dress, go, dress, go, dress, go. And the dress just like will not activate.
You hide behind this pile of rubble, hoping to be out of view. Next up on the initiative order is Anise.
Shit. Anise is just rummaging through her bag, pressed up against one of the walls of the elevator. She finds her pepper spray and she holds it close to herself, hoping that she cannot be seen, or at least that she's smaller than everyone else so she won't be hit next. She is pressed up against the side of the elevator, holding close, and just terrified, standing still. That is her turn.
Recklin, seeing all of your comrades in one way or another hide, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I think appropriately of the Nat 1, I think Rec has a moment of freezing. And then just, I think, goes into a panic fight mode. Just goes up and just looks around, sees people around him, sees you behind him, sees Griff behind him, and just, we are the Shine Brigade, and just runs at this guy, just no tool, just to, like, as if he's gonna tackle him, and just, we're the Shine Brigade! Yeah! You! And just attempts to grapple him.
Okay.
Someone did something.
We will make a contested grapple check.
My strength's not even that good, it feels right every time. Hey, I got a Nat 1. I don't like these dice.
Oh,
Throw them out.
No.
Throw them away. They're not allowed at this table
We're
anymore.
dead. We're dead.
Recklin,
This episode, we're dead.
Recklin, in a bout of heroicism, dashes forward, throws his arms out in a bear hug. Grandmaster Frown shrugs it away like it's nothing. He sends you tumbling backwards. It is now Grandmaster Frown's turn. He stands upon his pile of rubble. He looks down at you, Recklin, and he says, I killed the previous Shine Brigade. I tore the wickedness out of Cerulean, and now I will do it for this wicked planet as well. Say your goodbyes. He points his hand towards you and fires a beam of decay.
Ooh.
You'll be fine. It's fine.
That is going to be a 14.
Yeah, that hits.
You see Recklin evaporate
Oh!
with particles of dust flying upwards. Frown will turn his hand once more to Griff again. He shoots another terrible beam of decay at you. He misses. Once again, in your heightened sense, you dodge out of the way just in time. It is Griff's turn.
Seeing Recklin vanish like that, evaporated into dust or air or God knows what, awakens something in Griffin. A clarity of pure terror strikes through the panic and wakes him up out of his stupor. His rock, the thing he trusted to keep him safe, his cover is now blown, and indigo light begins to swirl around him, and he is covered in the same armor that appeared on that first day. Now that it's here, he realizes he has no idea what to do with it. He points his hand, he says some words of maybe like attack, get it. Nothing happens. And so, deciding the best course of action, he picks up a rock and throws one of the pieces of debris at Grandmaster Frown.
Roll to hit.
That is going to be an 18.
An 18. The rock finds purchase. I would like you to roll an improvised weapon attack damage, which is a d4 plus your strength.
Just one.
It is 1 plus your strength. What is your strength modifier?
Oh.
-1.
You have to be kidding.
Like a bee hitting a freight train, the rock bounces harmlessly off of Grandmaster Frown's illustrious armor, dealing no damage. Michael, it is your turn.
Looking around the room, is there anywhere to run? I know there's cover.
Yes, there is cover in the form of rubble. There is this very large crystal in the center of the room, which would be rather easy to hide behind because its size and immensity are so impenetrable.
Michael, after seeing Rek completely disappear, is going to look through the hole in the elevator to see if there's any room that he could jump down at. Not finding any, he's going to run to the rubble on the opposite side of the room of Delilah.
You run to the rubble on the opposite side of Delilah and hide behind it?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
As Michael is running and doing this, he's just whispering under his breath, "Oh, gloom, oh, gloom, oh, gloom, oh, gloom." That's it.
It is Delilah's turn.
Delilah pulls out her phone just to attempt to call for help or just to let the band know that she's not going to be at practice. Does she have any cell service?
You do have cell service.
Great. Yeah. She's going to call up Rocco in this moment.
You call Rocco on the cell phone. It rings 3 times and picks up at the last second. Hey, Delilah, what's up?
Hey, Rocco. I just wanted to let you know there's a behind her. I just don't think I'm going to make it to band practice.
Oh, yeah, no worries. I think Squeak came down with a cold, so, that probably works out.
Great. Yeah. Sounds good. Just, have a great life or whatever.
Yeah, you have a great life, too. All right, I'll catch you later, Delilah.
Yep. Sounds good, Rocco. Bye. Hangs up. And I believe that probably takes up to 6 seconds of her turn.
Anise, it is your turn.
Seeing Recklin just evaporate under this visage of Grandmaster Frown, she takes some deep breaths. She grips pepper spray, looks outside. Okay, you can do this. You can move. And she just sprints for another pile of rubble to hide behind. And as she goes, she's not sure whether she's just playing back that image in her head of Recklin getting thrown to the side, blasted into smithereens, or if she's actually seeing some of that aftershock she did before. But as Anise runs forward and throws herself into a pile of rubble to hide behind, she hits with a clunk that doesn't sound like rocks hitting rocks, but metal plates hitting rocks. And she opens her eyes that she had squeezed shut as she was running and sees herself once again in this glowing green plate armor.
I realized I was wrong. Improvised weapons do a d4. Unarmed strikes do the flat 1.
Water under the bridge.
It was funnier that way.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
She spends the rest of her movement getting up from a prone position into a crouch behind the rubble. Otherwise, she is just still shaking and trying to steel herself.
Okay. Rek
Wreck got wrecked.
is gone from the battle. It is once again Grandmaster Frown's turn. You see, in a swirl of indigo, Grandmaster Frown rises from his position to be flying in the air. He looks among the battlefield. He looks at Delilah and fires the same wicked bolt at her. That is going to be a 19 versus your armor class.
Delilah is unarmored, so that hits.
You see Delilah in a similar fashion fade in blue particles. He fires one more bolt, once more at Griff, which misses.
Can't touch this.
Grandmaster Frown says, I am sick of these paltry distractions. I am sick of the Shine sending these fools my way. I will take care of this once and for all. It is Griff's turn.
Griff, realizing there maybe were some parts of Jason's training that he should have taken more seriously, runs over to Anise, sliding behind the same cover, and looks at her and goes, What do we do? What do we do?
I don't know, but look, I've got this armor, I guess. I'll try to protect you however I can. We need to find another way out.
Where? The elevator's broken.
Is there... She, peeks out behind the rocks to look around the rest of the room.
I would like you to make a perception check.
Brilliant. Oh, first decent roll. Nice. That'll be a 22.
22.
Yeah.
Your keen eye for advertising never misses details. You see this weird glimmer towards the center of the room, towards the massive crystal that is the central Shine capacitor. It strikes you as odd. It strikes you as not quite right.
There's something going on toward the center of the room, toward the capacitor. That's what she called it. I don't know what it is, but maybe if you could get a better look.
So I've already moved a little bit. Do I have enough of my movement left to get all the way over there?
I would say yes, this crystal is huge.
Okay. Then Griff's gonna stand up, and his legs are just shaking horribly. And he looks at Anise and he's like, I think I can make it. I'm gonna make a break for it. And he sprints out from behind this cover and runs for the glimmering light and dives at it.
And can Anise be following him, just trying to protect?
I will say yes if Michael allows you to take your turn before his. Okay. Anise, you follow closely behind Griff as you both make a mad dash for the center of the room. I would like you to make a shine check, which is Arcana, but flavored.
Oh, cool.
Such tasty flavor.
Ooh.
That good.
7-course meal in front of me.
Is that cinnamon in there? And that is going to be a 15.
You run your hands along the crystal, desperate to find something, anything, and your hands find purchase. You expect the texture of this crystal to be smooth, to be continuous, but when you place your hands on it, you feel something familiar. You can't see it in front of you. There is visually absolutely nothing except for this crystal, but you can't help but get the sense that your hands have landed on a keyboard.
Control-Alt-Delete.
The entire room is suddenly cascaded in indigo light. In an instant, this horrible scene of destruction and desolation transforms into a nice room with a sandpit. Grandmaster Frown, his horrible visage disappears, replaced by a target dummy. Your slain comrades, thought to be gone forever, lay in the prone position on the floor. The unicorn that got killed at the very start stands before you with an extremely disappointed look on his face.
Oh no.
Anise is right behind you, just kind of crouched, covering her eyes, doesn't even notice that it's all over yet. And you notice her armor as well is just patchy. There's leg armor missing, one of the pauldrons isn't even there.
Griff shakily makes his way over to Recklin, prone on the floor, and is gonna check on him. Are you okay? Are you alive? Oh my god, you're alive!
You see that Recklin's eyes are all puffy, as if he had started to cry. Hey there, buddy. Oh, I know what it's like to die.
I should go check on Delilah.
Oh
no.
Oh my god. I don't know how I'm gonna get to sleep tonight.
It sounds like you're fine. You're
Yeah,
gonna
buddy.
be okay.
Yeah, we're all gonna be okay, buddy. Time heals all. Say it.
Remember what you were telling me earlier, Rec? Every day's a blessing.
That's right. Every day here is a blessing, isn't that right, Mr. Unicorn?
Hello, yes. My name is Pony Puffy Pants. You might recognize me as a former participant of the Shine Brigade, and you do recognize him. You've seen him in adverts and in television shows and in interviews. This unicorn used to accompany the old Shine Brigade everywhere they went. He was sort of a steed and partner in battle, and seeing him here is somewhat strange. He says, I have been appointed to be your mentor, to teach you in the ways of the Shine, to guide your training so that one day you may defeat Grandmaster Frown. But this performance, you cowered. You hid. You didn't fight for one another, you fought against one another. The only reason you got out at all was some gimmick, some cheap trick. Do you know what it means to be the Shine Brigade? I understand what my friends upstairs would have you thinking, that you are the hope of the city, that you are everything good about Sunflower City. But do you know the true perils of being the Shine Brigade? Do you know how many have died in the heat of battle? Do you know what you truly mean to this city? What happens if you fail? As he goes into this tirade, you see a jovial man, a Triton. He has fins on his arms and his neck. Plump and round, he has a significant beer belly. He wears a fine suit that is quite flattering to his form. He walks up and places a hand on Pony Puffy Pants' mane. He says, Don't you think you're being a little harsh? It was only their first time, and, well, you remember your first time, right? Pony Puffy Pants says, Yes, well, yes. I'll see you back here tomorrow for training. First thing in the morning. He trots away. You see that his mane has grown unkempt. You see that his muzzle has this gray beard-ish thing that has started to grow unwieldy. He has dark bags under his eyes. It looks as though Pony Puffy Pants has not slept in days. The plump man in front of you smiles at you. Shine Brigade, it is so nice to meet you. I have waited for this day for a long time, and I see that you're all a little bit shaken up. I'm so sorry about that. I tried to convince him that there had to be a better way of indoctrinating you into this very difficult role, and I know that it was a little traumatic, but I hope that I can give you a better light on the situation. I am called the Toy Maker. I run a lot of the technology around the Shine Brigade. I will build things for you when you need them and work on things when it's deemed necessary. I am sorry. I know this is a lot to put on you, especially after all that. Perhaps we could sit down for a second and have a cup of tea, maybe?
Anise sitting on the ground, like, at this point, her, like, breastplate has disappeared, and, like, parts of the armor in other places have disappeared, but not all of it. And she's just, like, sitting there, like, wiping tears from her eyes as well. Just, tea would be nice. Yeah.
I think Michael has gone from being very shocked at just the insanity going on around him and being unable to process that to very quickly hearing the name, the Toy Maker, and becoming very interested. One of the very few times in Michael's life where, at this point, he feels like he needs or wants to reach out to somebody. Yes, tea would be nice.
Of course. I will have tea brought down and coffee, if you like. Hot chocolate, maybe. What can I get for you? Anything?
I think Michael needs a change of pants.
A change of pants it is, then. I'll have one sent for you.
Everyone saw that. Okay.
After a period of cooling down, getting your wits about you, drinking some fine tea, you are brought down the elevator to the Toy Maker's laboratory. You see this large room filled with contraptions and inventions and shine magic that cascades off of every single wall and every single counter. There are a collection of fairies working on everything you can imagine. They all wear their little uniforms and put things together with little hammers. The toy maker gives you a grand tour of the area. This is where all the magic happens. All the inventions, all the contraptions that we make, all for you, the Shine Brigade. All in support of your grand adventures and your heroic endeavors.
I've never seen anything like this place. Even at Cordatech. How are you doing this?
Well, we have a lot of ex-Cordatech employees here, actually. We employ all sorts of genius individuals that know more about the Shine than pretty much anybody.
And
I'm gonna look back at Recklin, see him still shaking from the fear from before, and just go over to him. Are you okay?
Yeah, buddy, I'm fine. I'm just deeply disappointed in myself, you know?
Why?
Why? I mean, I can't think of a single better introduction to the Shine Brigade than what that was, and I just tackled him. I had a leather in it. Like I had tools on me. I didn't even use that. I just tackled him. I just went there and tackled him. So yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm like, I can't believe I walk up to you and call myself the Shine Brigade. It's just disappointed. That's all. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry. Griff.
I mean, you did better than me. I just hid behind you. And Griff's gonna look down on his feet. Maybe the horse was right. Maybe we are cowards.
The toy maker, upon hearing this, leads you to a conference room. He sits you down, makes sure that you have a cup of warm hot cocoa, every single one of you. I want you to know that although perhaps that encounter did not go as expected, the things that I saw in there have humbled me greatly. In first combat, and I have seen combat before, I've never seen a man charge directly into the front lines. I have never seen somebody so bravely charge forward, willing to sacrifice themselves for others. I've never seen ingenuity, the ability to think through a situation while thick in the mud. Triple P has seen a lot. He has been through a lot. Sorry, Triple P is Pony Puffy Pants. I understand that's a nickname. I need you to know that he has seen things that have hurt him greatly. He has seen his friends and those he grew up with die, go away, and he is harsh. He will push you in every way that he can, but he cares more about this cause than anybody I've ever known. Though he doesn't seem it, he cares for each of you, and he doesn't know how to show it in a healthy way. But just know that in that hard shell of his, there is a soft interior.
I mean, I guess we're all still here. That's something.
it's certainly a theatric way to get us introduced to all this.
I need to ask one thing of you, and forgive me if it sounds strange or even rude. I don't mean it's like that. The only way I think that this relationship can work is that I need to know that you're not lying to us. You need to cut it to us straight. Up there thinking about everyone blowing smoke up our ass, talking about how great we are, and then this humbling reality. I think we all need to build a little bit more relationship, less off of this pomp and circumstance, and just you're gonna tell me when I suck, right?
I will never lie to you. I will tell you the truth from my own eyes. What I have said today, I meant it. I hope you know that. I mean every word that I say. The next couple months, if you do decide to stay, if Triple P's theatrics haven't turned you off, will be difficult. The things that you face will not be easy. They will be arduous. The learning will be hard. However, the Shine has chosen you for some reason. The Shine has decided that You are worthy to be who you are, to be in this position, to save our planet. I hope you don't doubt the power of that, at least.
I should probably call Jason at some point. Also, I think I threw a rock at Grandmaster Frown, and that kind of got me thinking maybe we could, use some actual weapons?
Jason.
Is he the seventh member?
Oh, he's just a friend of mine.
You see the toy maker's eyes spark brightly. He perks up in his chair. If it's weapons that you need, I have weapons. I have plenty of weapons. Follow me. He allows you to test out Shine temperamental weapons that blow things up, that shoot beams of light, that fill you with energy. And at the end of a long day, he bids you farewell. It has been so nice getting to know you. And once again, I am so sorry about what Triple P did. I don't think that it was right.
Well, I'm sure we'll recover from the trauma. How often are we supposed to be here? The letter was a bit vague.
Oh, well, ideally you would spend most of your time here, but we understand, of course, that you have families to go back to and things at home. We will work with you in your schedule in whatever ways that you need. But if you wish, there is always a home here for you. Actually, Smith Bellflower, I believe that he wanted to show you to your new arrangements.
New arrangements?
Yes, if you take the elevator up and meet him on the 7th floor, I trust that you'll be greatly surprised. Not like last time.
We have to go back in the elevator?
No, Smith will meet you on the 7th floor.
And if we do decide to leave?
Ultimately, that is your choice. We aren't here to force you to do anything. But we hope that you will. Now come back down here anytime if you want to blow some more stuff up. I'll see you later.
So we're walking to the elevator,
To the
perhaps
elevator.
more appropriately the stairs.
I think we use the stairs this time.
Yeah. I like stairs.
Um, he just looks over. Is it just me, or is he way too excited about stuff blowing up?
Michael looks like a kid in a candy factory right now. He's looking around at all of these toys blowing things up and is like, yeah, isn't it just the most wonderful thing you've ever seen? A small tear goes down his cheek before he wipes it away very quickly.
She looks over at Griff, at Rack, at Delilah, seeing if they seem to have any reservations toward what's going on here.
I would say Rex's face is completely neutral. Just what he's thinking, he's definitely not. He's not. In fact, he kind of turns over to Delilah. You've been awfully quiet. What do you think about this?
I think I never should have gotten out of bed this morning. I don't personally see any way that we stand a chance against Grandmaster Frown, no matter how many exploding toys we have. I don't know. I guess I'm not doing anything better at home. I might as well hang out here, see what's going on. At least maybe they can figure out a way to make this dress thing stop popping up randomly. Seems I can't even touch a base without poof, dress. Pain in the ass.
That's a fair point.
Did you say you play the bass?
Oh, yeah, just on my own time, as a thing to do.
Wow, that's so cool. Have you ever played in a band or anything?
No, it's... Who has the time, honestly?
I guess that's true. I think Griff makes his way toward the staircase and begins to trek his way toward the 7th floor. The elevator might not be something he goes near for a while.
You make your way up many flights of stairs, sort of winded at the top.
These were not the shoes for this.
Smith Bellflower awaits you at the top. He seems to have been waiting there for a little while. He says, yes, it's nice to see you again. I take it that things didn't go too badly? Well, maybe this will cheer you up. I have arranged for your accommodations. I think they might be to your liking. He leads you to this long hallway with doors that are sporadically placed, what look like miles apart. He leads you each to individual rooms that are labeled with your names. You open the door, and each room seems to be the size of a mansion. Ceilings and walls rise so high and so far, you don't even know if you could store enough stuff in here to make it seem full.
Is it, is this, real? Are you, is this real? And you see, like, Reckley was previously had, like, this stony, there's like, almost a panicked expression in his face. But, no, you can't. Is this for us? Are you, what?
This is all for you, if you want it.
This is another computer simulation, right?
No, I'm happy to say that it's not. These facilities were made with you in mind, and we can furnish it in any way that you'd like.
Any way we like, huh?
Yeah, it's nice. Thank you. Griffin is just looking at it and, yeah, you know, his dad's house is pretty big, so this is right up his alley, but it's a lot better than his college dorm room for sure.
Smith takes you on a tour of each of the rooms. There's not much to see in its current state. Basic furnishings in each, such as a bed, a cabinet. He receives a phone call. You overhear bits and pieces of it. He says, if you'd excuse me, please. You say something has happened on a cloud bridge. Unauthorized access? This is very troubling. He closes the phone. I am so sorry, but I must take my leave now. You are welcome to return home if you'd like, or stay here for the night.
Something on a cloud bridge, is that something, is that, you were mentioning, that something was up with, there was trouble? Should we go see it, the trouble?
No, there's no trouble. It's completely okay. We will take care of this.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
It has
Goodness.
been an honor to meet all of you. And Smith Bellflower takes his leave. You all settle into these rooms. Uneasy. The immensity of it perhaps gives you a sense of vertigo. At one point, a cat visits each of your rooms. It brushes its bushy tail up against you. Its collar reads Snowball. It gives you a sense of peace in this otherwise tumultuous new experience.
Recording of Abigail Hellbore and Tia Tumbleweed, 3 years before the fall of the Shine Brigade. Hello, this is Tia Tumbleweed with Action 5 News. I'm joined by Abigail Hellbore, the scorching burn and fearsome firebrand of the Shine Brigade. Abigail, how are you today?
Good, Tia. It's always a pleasure. You know, you really got Sargosa pulling her hair out at the compound.
Sargosa?
Yeah, you two have history, right? The way Sargosa talks about you, I wouldn't be surprised if you'd personally shoved that stick up her ass.
Miss Hellbore, can we at least try to keep it professional? My personal business with Miss Sargosa is not relevant to the matter at hand.
So there is personal business.
Abigail, I want to ask you about the recent developments regarding Cerulean.
Okay, shoot.
I'm sure you've heard of the recent outcry from displaced Ceruleanites, and as you know, today marks the 20-year anniversary of the Day of Darkness. Cerulean refugees are starting to wonder if anything's being done to get them home.
Listen, if it were up to me, we'd fly over there right now and blast Frown's teeth into his smug throat. But we can't fucking get there, and nothing's ever that simple.
Language.
Sorry, daytime television audience. We can't get there, and shit's fucked.
And what of the rumors of breakthrough shine tech that might replicate the rainbow bridges?
Way above my pay grade. But it's all Aster talks about these days. Never, how are you, Abby? Or, blow up anything cool today, Abby? Always, rainbow this, and diffusion that. You ever put a stick up her ass, too? You must really get around, Tia. Sorry, one sec. My phone's blowing up. Shit.
Abby, can we focus on the interview, please?
Yeah. But if Jill's calling me, it means I've fucked something up.
Language, please.
It means I've messed something up. Fucking interviews. Listen, at the insistence of my social media manager, I've been encouraged to only speak about things related to that fight with the Crystal Psycho.
The quartz catastrophe?
Shine, how do they come up with these names? So anyway, there I was, 10 gallons of oil to my left and the puppy orphanage to my right.